When applying Samegawa or stingray skin to the ska or handle of a katana, the direction you apply the skin makes a difference. It's got a function, aside from the other many functions of Samegawa. One of the functions is for grip of the ito. So which direction you apply it to the core does make a difference. If you notice on this full piece of skin, each of the nodules has a little point or a hook on one end, and they face one direction. So all these nodules all have little hooks on top that are all pointing in this direction. So if I rub my hand across it this way, there's really no drag. It goes over smoothly and easily. If I push the opposite direction, I immediately feel a drag, a grip from the little hooks that are on the ends of the nodules. So it's much more difficult to push against the grain like this. So when applied to a handle, the largest node here would go toward the kashira end of the ska. So it would go down toward the bottom, right over the end knot, which would go here. And in this case, so next to the full skin, the nodules again would have hooks pointing toward the fuchi end of the ska. So pushing against the grain, there's a lot of friction. There's a strong grip from the little hooks. And in the case of a fully wrapped core, the hooks would be pointing on the emote side, the hooks would be pointing toward the fuchi, as well as on the oro side would be pointing in the same direction. Like that. And what this would do is this would, when the ito is wrapped around the ska and is on the skin, it would provide grip for that ito. And when you swing the sword, the pressure when in a strike, your hand would go down the ska like this. That would be the way the force moves your hand, or your hand wouldn't move, but that's the force being applied, would be in the direction down toward the kashira like that. So when the ito is wrapped around the handle and you're applying force, the hooks, the grip of the Samegawa onto the underside of the ito would help the ito not slip down as you're applying force to it over and over again. It would help grip it and keep it in place. If it were on the other way, if the Samegawa were situated in the other direction on the handle and force was applied, the ito could slip more easily down the surface of the skin, and it would actually make it very difficult to slide it back up if it did that. So situating it where the hooks are pointing toward the fuchi, again pressure being applied down onto the handle this way, helps the ito remain in place. And even though the skin would be polished and it wouldn't be quite as rough, the hooks still protrude even though they're not as sharp, and it still helps provide that grip onto the cording. When you're doing, this ska is also a full wrap ska, but in this case I'm going to use it as if it were panels. So even when applying panels, you should still note the direction of the hooks, and it should still be applied as if it were the same as a full wrap in the same direction. So in this case, again, the hooks on the panel are pointing toward the fuchi, providing grip when I pull down this way. And that would be for both sides. The emote and the uro sides would have the hooks pointing toward the fuchi in the same direction. That'll help keep your ito from slipping.